What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Whoa, whoa, whoa! What do we have here? Yeah, the market did what it had to do. Did dip below that target we chose. This is that measly drawing I got here. It did close below that. It almost hit the bottom of the trend line. Almost touched it. It barely touched it. This is the trend line right around 24.90, 24.936, and it actually hit 25.427. Very close. I don't think we're out of woodworks yet. It is above that key line. It has to stay above that. This is the 4 hour. Let me put on the daily. This is the daily here. Okay. This is very important. This has to stay and close above this purple for us to be in the green, if you know what I mean. If it stays above this purple, this is a very key line here. As you can see, this is where it was before. This is where the support was. Now it's where the resistance hopefully turns into support here. If this stays above this line, when this timer resets, it's 3:06 now. We got 4 hours and 53 minutes till the next candle, daily candle, shows up. And if it stays above and closes above this purple line, there could be a new trend going back up. So if that's the case, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. If that's the case, this is where I would buy. That's where I would buy as well. I mean, or put more money in. I did buy. I bought it before it hit this line. I didn't buy Bitcoin. I bought GMT. Okay. The reason why I bought it, these were my two targets here. I saw it, did a little pump up. I'm like, ooh, this is nice. So I bought it at $1. I bought it at $1 right around here is where I bought it, at $1. And it went up. I did sell it and wait for the dip. So I sold it at, I think it was 10 cents more. So $1, $1.20, $1.22 is where I sold it. It went back down. I bought it up cheaper, a little bit cheaper. I think it was $1.14 is why I bought it. Not that much difference. Again, I was only trading about within 5 to 10 cent difference. You know, because I purchased like 5,000 plus shares. So, I mean, if you do the math, you got a 5,000 times 0.10 cents equals, that's $500. You know, so anyways, give or take. So $250, $500, depending $300 here and there, minus the fees. You got to pay your fees. And so my goal was to do that. I did do a boo-boo. I did do a boo-boo. I wanted to sell it at 180. I left it, had it selling at 180. By the time I got home, I got anxious. I'm like, it's almost there. And then I sold it right around 170, 169. I think I sold it 169. And then I bought back higher. And then it pumped up again. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to break that 180. And I did what we shouldn't do. But I bought a little higher. I lost some shares. But now I'm holding it. Because I think this big dip like this, I think it's over. I am not certain, but I think it's over. It had a night. If you picked up at $1 or even lower than that, if you picked it up at 80 cents, 82 cents, you made some really good gains there, ladies and gentlemen. If you got the bottom of this candle, you did really well. Okay. Now this is the hourly candle for GMT. Let me put it on the 4 hour. That way you can see what it looks like. See, you can see how these are key levels here. It needs to hold. If it holds here and it closes above that, our next target, obviously it's 18 cents because that's where it was the high, right around here. Let me just put the marker that way you see it. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it at the end because this is all color. I got to change this to invisible, but right here. Okay, $1.80. It's $1.85, but it's technically $1, right around $1.80, 82. This is another key target. It has to break this. Let me change this to orange. That way we can see the difference. You can see the price on the right-hand side. That's why I like the orange, because you can see the price on the side. Anyways, that being said, you can see this is a key area, because if it bounces here and it comes down, it may come back down here and may do that W that we hate to see. Some of us hate to see. Some of us love it. But if you see that W, a lot of the times, if you see a W forming and it starts to come down, you want to sell it, especially when it breaks down below some key target areas, because you know it's a potential for it to, do a double bottom. And if it does a double bottom, the likelihood of it turning around and completing that W is high. I mean, I don't want to say, I don't know the percentage, but you can if you look at old patterns, you'll see different letters, M's, W's, U's, and a lot of times those complete. And the reason why they complete and the reason why you see them is because they completed. So keep that in mind. This could be a U. It could be or a V. In this, for instance, it's not that sharp. It could be a V, and it can complete here, right around $2. So again, I am selling at around 180, and I'm going to wait for the dip. I think it's going to go. I'm going to do my handy dandy notebook. I think it's going to bounce down just a little bit before the end of the day. I think it's going to come up, and I think it's going to touch 180 before the end of the day. I hope it does that. I hope it does that. That'd be really, really nice. I'm going to turn this to purple. That way you can see it. And if it does, let me turn this thicker color. Oh, that's the thickest I can get it. All right, we'll just leave it like that. As you can see, if it touches this, and then hopefully by a little earlier today, and then it breaks through and comes back down and touches it, and about to shoot up again, now you're looking at $2 as the next target. You're looking at $2 right around here. That'll be the next target. $2.01, give or take. It's gonna, if it goes up. Okay, remember, if it goes up. Right now it's dipping a little bit because Bitcoin is dipping a little bit. This is GMT. If you don't know about GMT, this is that video I made about the sneaker and exercising. It's like an NFT that you wear on your phone. And as you walk and run around, you can make money, real crypto doing that. Now, it costs money to purchase one of those NFT sneakers. But if you haven't seen that video, go back to my couple days ago video about, it's called STEPN, STEPN. All right, that being said, that's another video. But just an idea, this is that coin that actually is backed by this coin anyway. That being said, it's saying the strong sell. I don't like to watch this right-hand side, this technicalities that they have here, only because a lot of times, I mean, if everybody followed this here, I mean, everybody would be rich, right? Yeah, right. That's exactly my point. So again, I'm watching this. Look at, I think it's going to break $1.80, and I think it's going to hit $2 today. I think by midnight, give or take. It is the weekend. A lot of people go on vacations. A lot of people go on long weekends. They go out. So we have to be very careful. Before you exit the house, make sure you put your stop loss, okay, and make sure you put your sell orders. Or if you're just a long time holder, just hold. You know what I mean? Just hold strong, because eventually this coin is going to be at $5. It's going to be at the new highs around $4.86. It'll break that. You know what I mean? It's got some key targets it got to break. It's got $2. Then you got the $2.60 market area. Then you have the $3.30. And then eventually you're going to have to break the $4.14 to reach new highs. Is it possible? It is possible. Can it happen anytime soon? No, I don't think so. I think it has to do a lot of marketing, a lot of updates with the actual app and the actual, business side of it. Whatever they have to do, whatever they're building. I mean, Yuga Labs is I'm talking about ApeCoin. Yuga Labs is ApeCoin. STEPN is what I'm talking about. I do apologize. But yeah, that being said, just keep an eye on the market. Just keep an eye on these candles. Watch how it works. If it breaks down and closes below the daily, especially on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crosses below this line, I would say around the $2.90, $2.95 area, $2.94 to $2.95. If the daily candle breaks below that and closes below that, then it could continue to ride down. And I think if it does, it'll break this last candle and it's gonna touch the trend line. And look what that trend line means. Remember the 23,505 we talked about? That was the last previous, which was right here. You see, it did break this one, and went all the way down to this one. It broke that one, and it went down to here. I don't know why it touched this target. I think there was just a big panic sell-off. People were real scared, and now they have to buy in at a higher price. It's the way the market goes. But this was the key area I thought it would hit, which was 23,685. Reason being, that was a strong resistance at one point, and if it broke that, it will go down here. Now it has a potential to still complete all this. We don't know yet. All we can do is watch. And the reality of it is, it looked like it did that dip. Let's just wait for this last candle dance. If this candle closes above that line, and the next candle's more than likely it's going to start with a hammer, but the hammer's going to be green. A lot of selling, maybe because this is a Heikin-Ashi candle. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to look something like this, red with the green around it. You see that right there? See that right here? Red with the green around it. That's showing buy power, buy pressure, buy power. There's a little bit of selling, and then you'll start to see it change. Hopefully it does this. That's the goal, right? Don't you want to catch these right here? Let's say you saw this. You saw this candle, then you saw this. That means it's 50-50, equal fight, equal sells, equal buy. And then this next candle shows up like this on the Heikin-Ashi candles. What would you do? You'd be like, shoot, I'm going to buy, right? At least you would assume. Now, it doesn't always work that way. Doesn't always work that way. Just keep that in mind. But if say you did do that, say you bought it at this candle, right? And you watched it do this, would you sell here? Or would you wait? See, this is what being patient and diligent is about. And the first red thing you see, you can't sell. You got to read the whole language. You got to read the whole page. You got to read the whole page. You got to understand every word. Okay? You got to understand what the market is doing. You got to look at the other tools. See, these down here. These will help too. And it's saying, yeah, it went down, but no, I'm not selling yet. You shouldn't have sold here. And if you didn't, you rode this even higher. So imagine buying Bitcoin at 39,000, and then it rolled all the way up to 47, and you sold here because you saw the red candle appeared, and you saw this candle. You're like, oh shit, it looks like a trend's changed. The trend is changing, and you would have sold here. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Oh, and then there was a big fight, left to right, for 1, 2, 3, 4 days straight. It was up and down, up and down, up and down, and then boom, you saw this candle. You're like, holy shit, I'm selling. It looks way too bearish. And then if you sold here and it did this, granted you didn't buy the bottom, but you would have bought around here, give or take. Listen, look at the difference: 46,000 to 29,000. That's $16,000 difference, ladies and gentlemen. That's a big difference. You can grab a lot of different coins with that kind of money. That being said, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It looks, again, it's still in a downtrend, as you can see. It's on a downtrend. Like I said, we started this downtrend way back in November, was it? November 21. And it's just been slowly declining. Got a little bit of even, a little bit of consolidation, went up, hit the trend line, boom, and then hit down again. Now it's about to hit this trend line. We hope it doesn't. We hope it goes back up here. But overall, we're still in a downtrend. Okay, this is a downward channel. The good thing about downward channels is once it breaks above that downward channel and it closes and bounces right off of it and comes up, it usually goes very fucking high and very fast. So you could see it back up to 70, breaking probably $70,000 per Bitcoin. I mean, so I will definitely keep an eye on the trend line. So if you're drawing these lines on your map and on your chart and you're watching these key areas, key points, you got to keep an eye on that. Let's see, ApeCoin. ApeCoin is doing this. Again, previous bottom was here of $7.49. We said there's a potential to hit all that. It did hit it. It went all the way down to $5.50. Now, if you caught it here, that's great. Oh, look at the W, by the way. The 1 hour chart. See this W? Whoop. Usually completes. And then, or you could call this a teacup. Usually when a teacup does a teacup, let me show you. I'm going to draw it for you so you can see it. This is the teacup, and this is the handle. And usually what happens is you measure from here to here. All right. Oh, let me get something else to measure there. That way we can do an exact. Let me see. We're gonna do the vertical trend line. So we're gonna go from here to here, and then what? Usually when you see that and it breaks right above this handle, then you measure that from here to up. That's where it's gonna hit. Usually that's where the target hits. Now it's not always gonna do that, but that's usually what people say. If you measure it correctly, that's where the target will be, which is around $11.89. Right now it's at $8, so there's still a lot of room to make money. But this is the hourly. The hourly changes so fast that I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying it's going to do that. That's just a sample. That's just something I saw. I just saw that with my own eyes. So let's go to 4 hours, see what it looks like there. Again, it did the V. Here's the V. So one V, and now we're at that point. We're at that particular point. So everything is doing a V. Look, everything is doing a V except Bitcoin, because this Bitcoin is at the daily. Let me put it in the 4 hour. And it's just a little different. It looks a little bit, well, it's sort of got a V. Very sharp here, but it's a very crooked one. Again, we needed to stay above this purple. We needed to stay above this. It needs to close above that. If it does, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. It could be bullish momentum. As you can see, the histogram, a lot of selling pressure that's dying. See this? It's starting to die, it's starting to pick up. You're going to see it start buying power eventually. If it stays up there, hopefully this will turn around, hit this marker here, and the histogram will start to turn green rather than red, meaning more buying power is coming in. Also, this purple line starts to shoot up just like it did here, and the yellow line stays, below it. It's also indication there's buying power. So as of right now, I would just sit tight. Another one, wait for tonight. See if you didn't already buy. I don't know what you did. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're doing. And hopefully, if you comment in the video, I would definitely know, and then we could talk about it. What did you buy? Did you buy the dip all the way down here? Did you wait? Did you wait to see if it was going lower? Let's find out what you think. What coin you trading, and what are you doing with it? And how's it working for you? Did you follow this when I first created this video? Did you look at the market? Did you sell when I told you there's a possibility you should sell here? If you didn't, if you did, you would have made out big, because you saw this break. That was a sell point right here. As soon as it broke this, that's where people would have sold, should have sold, and then watch the dip, and then hopefully purchase it, wait for it to come back up. But listen, everybody's different. Like I said, I ain't doing nothing but waiting. So my coin might go up, it might go down a little bit today, but I'm gonna wait till about, like I said, let me go back to the daily chart. I have 4 hours and 36 minutes before I decide my next move. Unless, an hour or 2 hours from now, this breaks below this, and it's like an hour left. I guess I would still wait, you know what I mean? Because this has to break this and close below it, or has to break above it, which it has, and has to stay above it. That's going to determine whether I stay in or sell. So, a buy or sell. Right now, I bought because I made profit. You know what I mean? So I'm staying in as of right now. But if this breaks down below this green line and starts to dip, I'm selling. I'm going to sell before I lose a lot of more money. And then I'll wait for the dip. If it comes down, I have a feeling it's going to touch this trend line right here, or even this target, which is 23,518. 23,518, that target right there. So if it breaks below this, it's going to break. It's going to either touch this, break this. Usually, I don't know. I don't know volume-wise how much that's going to take, but that's what I'm keeping an eye on for tonight, in hopes that, Bitcoin does what it's got to do. Whether they go down or up, I don't care. If it goes down, I sell, I wait for it to dip, and then buy. If it goes up, great, I'm making profits, and I'll sell at key areas, and then wait for the dip. Because this is not going to go straight up like this. So I'll wait for it to go up, sell at a key point, wait for it to dip a little bit, buy back up, and then go back, and just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You know why? Because of a trend line. The reason why because you pick up more shares. If you sell here, if you buy here and it goes here and you sell here and then you wait for the dip and you buy here you are getting more shares, which in turn, when it goes up, you're making more money. You'll make more money because you got more shares. That's day trading, okay? Now, if you're just a long-term investor, you just got to look at these key points. I mean, I don't know what your goal is, what you're holding for, how long you're going to be holding for. A lot of people hold just to make a certain amount of money. Some people want to hold for retirement. Some people just hold until their hands fall off. I don't know, but I try to take some earnings. You wanna get some keys. You want to make money. If you're not in this to make money, then I don't know what you're in this for. If you don't want to make money, put your money in the stock market. And I'm just playing. That was a joke for all you stock guys. That was a joke. But just keep an eye on the market. Let me go on the hourly so I can show you. Let me open this up. I want you to see this here. You see how it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You can make money in this up, down, but you got to watch the key target areas. You see? Look at the previous chart. Look at the previous months, days, years, whatever, and then base your key area target. This is key target number 1. All right. Why would you sell here if this is a key target? Well, if you look at the previous, it was also support and resistance here. It touched it numerous times. Let me go ahead and put my rectangle. Look at how many times it touched this area. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times it touched it. So you know when it hits there, it's a possibility to break down. So if it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is you right here. This is an example. You know it's going to touch here again. It's on its way. This is where you would sell. And then you will watch a dip. And then you watch, well, where's my key dipping areas? Where will I buy if it dips? Well, if you look at the previous, how many times did it touch here? Let's bring this back. Let me open this up a little bit. Look how many times it touched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, well, you got an idea. So once you draw these 2 lines, you know your key targets. And then just adapt. Okay, now you know this is where you're going to buy, right around this area. So you buy here, and then you wait for it to go up. Guess what happened? It did it again. Only difference, it didn't go far down. Why? Because look at the previous. Okay, so you're going to take your horizontal line right here. This big blue line, it touched it here. And then it went up above it, and it came bounced right off of it, and then shot up. You see that? And then you look at your targets again, and then you just do it over and over again. Now you're not always going to be right, but the goal is to this is how you're going to be able to pick up more shares. You know what I mean? Selling high, buying low. This is what your goal is. See, because these key targets. But remember, it has to have touched these areas more than, I think, 2 or 3 times is the goal. If it touched it more than 3 times, then that's a heavy support and resistance line. Okay, now it did it here. So 1, 2, 3, you're like, oh shoot, 4 times. It hit it 4 times. This, and you sold. Let's say you sold here. Look what happened. You're not always going to hit it. You're not always going to be right. But if you're right 75% of the time, that's a great thing. I know that you can make some really good money. Now again, it has to be a high volatile coin, cryptocurrency, and it has to have a lot of volume, because people's behaviors will show, whether it be whales or regular people. And then again, it hit the trend line and then it dipped. You can see it's down the dip. Now it's in a downtrend. From this day forward, it's in a downtrend. Okay? From this day. Now this is a 1-hour chart. It's been in a downtrend. This is a 1 hour. If I put the 4 hour, you're going to see it. And the daily, you'll still see it. So, but if you're trading day trading, you want to do the hourly and the 4 hourly chart, because this is going to determine how much money you make in a day. And you watch this trend line dip, consolidation, dip, consolidation, dip, and there's money to make in between these. But you know it's going down. You see it here. Your eyes are wide open. If you can't see it, this is why you need to bring the chart out. Okay, what I tell you, it looks like it's going up. That's nice. We need to see that go up. Oh yeah, come on, baby. Like I said, whether it goes up or down, it's a good thing. But since I'm holding shares, if it stays above that purple on the daily, that is a really good sign. That means whatever I bought, you know what I mean, when I bought at $1, it's gonna make money. And and I sold, and I bought more, and then went up, and then I bought a little higher. But if it again, I got my sell point. I'm selling at $1.80 on GMT, which is this one here, which is right here. This first yellow line, this is where I'm selling. And then I'm gonna watch a dip. If it does dip, hopefully it does. It'll take that dip and it'll come back up, and then I'll buy when it dips. Where is it gonna go? Right around this blue line. I think it's gonna hit 180 and then come back down here. And then that's what I'm gonna buy again, and then wait for it to break through to the $1.20. I might sell at the $1.20 line only because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a more heavily supported. This is a very heavily supported. Shit, I forgot the damn word I'm looking for. I got too many words coming in my brain that I can't spit them out fast enough. Previous resistance. That's what I want to say. This is a very heavily traded previous resistance. It was hard to break this for this coin, and that's why you saw it dip. But again, Bitcoin brought everything down. It's not necessarily this particular coin, just people panicking and selling. That's what happens when people panic sell. That's what you see. That being said, keep an eye out for tonight. Go ahead, relax, enjoy yourselves. Just make sure you stay on. Just keep an eye on the charts for about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, because that's when the new candle for the Bitcoin appears. And if you can keep on this, you can be like, okay, closed above that, it's green. Let me go out and enjoy myself. So then you go out, start dancing, you get a little drink or two, get some food, and you come home. Hopefully you got a couple of extra $1,000 in your pocket because you did the right thing. Possibly. Or you could do the wrong thing, and then you come home, you see Bitcoin below that purple line touching the 23,518 mark, and you're like, holy shit. Put the alerts on your phone. Put your stop losses in. This is why you put your stop loss. Put your stop losses in. That way, if it gets below that point, you sell it. If it goes above that point, you sell it. You get what I'm saying? Your key targets. Keep an eye on that. That's what I have to say. I am out of here. Hopefully you guys like this video. Hit the like button. I know some of you are hitting the like button. I guess you're liking the content. Some of you comment. If you have a question, comment. Want me to look at another coin that you have possibly? Let's look at your coin. See what you're trading. Maybe we can match up charts. See if I can do hit key targets on your cryptocurrency. Or maybe you're taking this and you're adding it and you're doing it yourself and see if it works for you. Like I said, no one's ever 100%. All right, that's all I'm going to tell you. You're going to win. You're going to lose some trades, and you're going to win some good ones. I mean, as long as you are winning more than losing is the goal. All right, that's all I have to say. And you got to sell and get profits. You cannot stay holding a coin forever. It's just, I was brainwashed to think that it was a good thing. But it depends on the project. If it was Bitcoin back then, that would have been great, right? Everybody would be happy. But reality of it is, as you're learning to trade, as you're learning the charts, you're going to learn a lot of stuff. And some of it's not going to be good. And some of it's going to be bad. I listen to a lot of people on YouTube and followed them for a very long time. And I actually got rid of my subscription from those channels. Because I was holding on to coins for 2.5 years, 3 years, because they waiting for that pump that never came. And I could have made so much money in between there, but I kept sitting and waiting, and I don't want you guys to make that mistake. This is why I'm telling you differently. Now, there are coins that do pay, 5.0%, 6.0% if you just hold it. Now, if I were you, I would consider that as a savings account. Go ahead, put some money in Tezos, whether it goes up and down. Just sit on it. That's your savings account. That's going to hopefully last you. You don't want to look at the account for 10, 20 years. You know what I mean? In hopes that, it doesn't hit zero, of course. But, you know, to hit 10, 20, because whatever you got in there, if it's at $2, a dollar something now, and it hits, you know, $20 in the future, whatever you have in there is 20x. You know what I mean? It already 20x on top of what you're earning, percentage-wise, 5%. And then you're getting that paid every 2 or 3 days. They pay you that 5%. Now, that's more of a savings that I would prefer rather than the bank. I mean, yeah, your dollar's always gonna be a dollar, but it's not gonna grow. It's not gonna grow. I mean, you gotta, again, you have to do what you need to do for yourself. That's what I would tell you. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't do it. I would put it in the savings account, something like Tezos. USDC pays as well. USDC also pays your interest, but you don't want to keep it in the bank. Coinbase has a USDC account, which also pays a percentage. You know what I mean? Every few days. You know, it's percentage for the year, but they pay you out every 2 or 3 days as you accumulate. That would get. I mean, that's why they pay out. Keep an eye on it. That's something to think about in the future for yourself. That being said, look at it's down to 29,940. It is really, really. Look at that. That's the buyers and sellers fighting in that big candle. That candle right there is the 50-50 war. That could last for a couple of days. You see it lasting for a couple of days here. 1, 2, 3, and it started breaking down. You're like, no. Then it went boom, pow. That's like an uppercut and then a right hook. And then you got knocked down. That's what it shows right here. If candles could be a visual, that's what I would visualize it as. Right here, like you're training, yeah. Just really, oh, boom! All of a sudden, you get into your first fight, you win. Now you get into your next fight, and it's not going so well. Bop, bop, bop. Now you're knocked down. It happens. You can't win them all. That being said, 4 hours and 22 minutes from now is the key point. Keep an eye on that. Talk to you guys later. I gotta get out of here.